Listen, listen, listen. Y'all got to hear me on this one. You're out here stressing, worrying, losing sleep, pacing back and forth over things that ain't even in your control. You trying to fix it, force it, make it happen. But I came here today to tell you, let go. Handle it. See, we all got this bad habit of holding on to things that ain't meant for us. We try to drag people along who ain't supposed to go where we're going. We cling to jobs, relationships, situations that expired a long time ago, thinking if we just push a little harder, they'll work out. But sometimes the greatest blessing is in the release. Too many people are walking around stressed out, anxious, and exhausted because they are trying to control things that were never meant for them to handle. They stay up all night running scenarios through their minds, trying to figure out every possible outcome, thinking that if they just push a little harder, think a little longer, or work a little more, they can force things to happen exactly how they want. But the truth is, some things are simply out of our hands, and no amount of worry will change that. Think about how much energy is wasted on things that don't even belong to you. People spend days, months, and even years stressing over what other people think, worrying about how a situation will turn out, and trying to manipulate circumstances to fit their expectations. The reality is, no matter how much you stress, some things will remain the same. The job you didn't get, the relationship that ended, the opportunity that passed you by, none of it is going to change just because you lose sleep over it. Worrying won't bring something back, and stressing won't fix what's broken. There's a reason why certain doors close. There's a reason why some plans don't work out. But instead of accepting that and moving forward, too many people waste time trying to force things that aren't meant for them. It's like trying to put the wrong key into a lock. You can push, twist, and turn all you want, but if it's not the right fit, it's never going to open. And the worst part, while you're stuck trying to open that wrong door, you might be missing the one that's already open for you. Stress is the result of trying to control what is beyond your power. If you think about the times you've been most worried, most anxious, most overwhelmed, it's probably because you were trying to change something you had no control over. Maybe it was another person's decision. Maybe it was the outcome of a situation. Maybe it was something that had already happened, and no matter how much you thought about it, you couldn't go back and change it. That's where frustration builds, when you're holding on so tight to something that isn't even in your hands to begin with. Letting go of stress doesn't mean giving up or being careless. It means understanding that your job is to do your best and then step back. You prepare, you work, you take action, but after that, you have to let things unfold. Some of the greatest opportunities and blessings come when you stop trying to control everything. When you release the need to micromanage life, you open yourself up to things working out even better than you imagined. Worry doesn't add to your life. It doesn't solve problems. It doesn't bring peace. It only drains you. The moment you stop stressing over things beyond your control, you free yourself to focus on what truly matters. People have a hard time letting go of things that no longer serve them. They hold on to relationships that have run their course, jobs that make them miserable, friendships that drain them, and habits that keep them stuck in the same place. The reason is simple. Familiarity feels safe. Even when something isn't good for you, the fact that you've known it for so long makes it difficult to walk away. But holding on to something that has already expired only keeps you from stepping into what's meant for you. Everything in life has a season. Just like the leaves change, just like the tide comes and goes, there are things in your life that were only meant to be there for a certain period of time. Some people were meant to teach you a lesson, not walk with you forever. Some jobs were meant to give you experience, not be your final destination. Some situations were meant to prepare you for something greater, not be the place where you stay. But when you refuse to let go, when you try to drag an expired situation into a new season, you only make things harder for yourself. The truth is, when something is no longer meant for you, you'll start to feel it. You'll feel uneasy, frustrated, disconnected. The same things that once made you happy will start to drain you. Conversations will feel forced. Situations will feel uncomfortable. And no matter how hard you try, things just won't click the way they used to. That's not a coincidence. Life has a way of showing you when it's time to move on. But too many people ignore the signs because they don't want to face the unknown. Letting go of expired situations requires trust. It means believing that even though you don't know what's next, there is something better waiting for you. It means understanding that staying in the wrong place will never lead you to the right one. But instead of trusting, most people hold on out of fear. Fear of change, fear of being alone, fear of regret. They convince themselves that things might get better if they just wait a little longer, try a little harder, give a little more. But deep down, they already know the truth. The moment you recognize that something is no longer serving you, you have a choice. You can either keep trying to force it, or you can release it and make room for something better. Growth requires letting go. Elevation requires release. The longer you hold on to what's not meant for you, the longer you delay what is. It's not always easy, it's not always comfortable, but refusing to let go only keeps you stuck in a cycle that was never meant to last. Everything in life operates on a process. Nothing happens overnight. A seed doesn't turn into a tree the moment it touches the soil. A caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly in an instant. There is a period of growth, change, and unseen development before anything reaches its full potential. The problem is that most people don't like the waiting part. They want to see immediate results, quick success, and fast progress. But just because something isn't happening as quickly as you want doesn't mean it isn't happening at all. Trusting the process means understanding that every step, even the slow ones, is moving you forward. The effort you put in, the sacrifices you make, the lessons you learn, all of it is adding up to something bigger. The problem is people start doubting when they don't see immediate rewards. They start questioning if they're on the right path, if they should give up, if they're wasting their time. But real growth isn't always visible right away. Just like a seed beneath the soil, things are happening beneath the surface that you can't see. Too many people quit because they don't see instant results. They plant the seed but walk away before it has a chance to sprout. They start working on their goals but give up when progress feels slow. They enter a new season of life but lose patience when things don't fall into place immediately. But everything great requires time. The strongest trees take years to grow. The most beautiful masterpieces take time to create. And the most meaningful success comes from consistent effort. Doubt and impatience are the enemies of progress. When things take longer than expected, most people assume something is wrong. They start comparing themselves to others, looking at someone else's success and wondering why theirs hasn't come yet. But comparing your journey to someone else's is one of the fastest ways to lose faith in your own. You don't know what they had to go through, how long they had to wait, or what struggles they faced behind the scenes. Your timing is your timing. What's meant for you will come when it's supposed to, not a moment too soon or too late. The process is where the real work happens. It's where you build discipline, resilience, and character. It's where you learn the lessons you need for the next level. People want the reward without the waiting, the success without the struggle. But if things came too easily, they wouldn't be as valuable. The process shapes you into the person who is ready to receive what's coming. Everything you're working toward is already on its way to you, but you have to be willing to trust the timing, to keep going, even when you don't see immediate results, to believe that what's happening behind the scenes is just as important as what happens in the spotlight. People spend so much time trying to control everything around them, thinking that if they just plan enough, worry enough, or push hard enough, they can make everything go exactly how they want. They think peace comes from having a grip on every detail, from knowing every outcome, from keeping things in their hands. But true peace doesn't come from control. It comes from trust. The more you try to force things to go your way, the more frustrated you become when they don't. The more you stress over every detail, the more exhausted you feel when things don't fall into place. There's a difference between preparation and obsession. There's nothing wrong with working hard, setting goals, and putting in the effort to make things happen. But when you cross the line into constantly worrying, constantly overthinking, and constantly trying to manipulate outcomes, that's when stress takes over. The reality is, no matter how much effort you put in, there will always be things beyond your control. Other people's decisions, unexpected circumstances, delays, setbacks, all of these are things that can't always be predicted or changed. The more you fight against them, the more drained you become. When you stop trying to control everything, you give yourself the freedom to breathe. You stop carrying weight that was never meant for you. You stop thinking that you have to figure everything out on your own. Instead of constantly forcing things, you learn to move with life instead of against it. There's a difference between working towards something and forcing something. When something is right for you, when something is meant for you, it will come together without you having to exhaust yourself trying to hold it together. Most stress comes from fearing the unknown. People feel anxious because they don't know how something will turn out, so they try to predict, plan, and micromanage every possibility. But no amount of worrying will change what's already meant to happen. Trust means believing that no matter what happens, you will be okay. It means knowing that even when things don't go as planned, they are still working in your favor. It means understanding that setbacks, delays, and unexpected turns are not the end of the story. Trying to control everything is like swimming against the current. It's exhausting, frustrating, and only leaves you feeling stuck. But the moment you let go and trust, the moment you stop trying to force every detail to go your way, you begin to flow with life. You start to experience a sense of peace that isn't based on everything being perfect, but on knowing that no matter what happens, you will be able to handle it. Trusting doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing your best and then releasing the need to control the rest. It means understanding that peace doesn't come from having everything in order. It comes from knowing that even when things aren't in your hands, they are still falling into place. Rejection is one of the hardest things to experience because it makes people feel like they aren't good enough, like they missed out on something important. like they failed. But what most people don't realize is that rejection is often just redirection. When something doesn't work out, when a door closes, when an opportunity slips away, it's easy to get caught up in disappointment. It's easy to question yourself, wonder what you did wrong, and feel like you've lost something valuable. But sometimes what looks like a setback is really just a setup for something better. People hold on to rejection like it's a reflection of their worth. They think that if they didn't get the job, if the relationship ended, if they weren't chosen, then they must not have been enough. But rejection is rarely about being unworthy. More often than not, it's life making room for something better. It's protection from a situation that wasn't meant for you. It's guidance towards something that aligns with where you're really supposed to be. When you stop seeing rejection as a loss and start seeing it as a redirection, you begin to understand that nothing truly meant for you will ever pass you by. Every successful person has faced rejection at some point. Every person who has achieved something great has been told no along the way. But the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is how they respond to it. Some people let rejection break them. They let it shake their confidence, make them afraid to try again, and keep them from moving forward. Others take rejection as a sign to keep pushing, to adjust their path, to trust that there's something better ahead. The way you handle rejection determines whether it stops you or strengthens you. Rejection can be painful in the moment, but looking back, most people can see that the things they thought they wanted weren't actually right for them. The job they didn't get led them to something better. The relationship that ended made room for someone more aligned with them. The opportunity that fell through pushed them toward a path that fit them even more. But when you're in the middle of it, when you're feeling the sting of disappointment, it's hard to see that there's a bigger plan at play. That's why trust is so important. Every time something doesn't go the way you want it, you have a choice. You can dwell on it, replay it in your mind, and convince yourself that you lost something, or you can shift your perspective and believe that life is guiding you to something greater. Some of the biggest blessings come disguised as losses. Some of the best things happen because something else didn't. The sooner you learn to see rejection as redirection, the sooner you'll stop fearing it. The doors that close are just as important as the ones that open. Fear has a way of keeping people stuck. It convinces them to play small, to doubt themselves, to hesitate instead of taking action. It whispers all the reasons why things won't work out, why they shouldn't take risks, why they aren't ready. But fear is a liar. It creates problems that don't exist. It makes people see obstacles where there are opportunities. It holds them back from stepping into the life they are meant to live. The only way to move forward is to stop letting fear make the decisions and start walking in faith instead. Faith is believing in what you can't yet see. It's knowing that even if you don't have all the answers, even if you don't know exactly how things will work out, you are still moving in the right direction. Walking in faith means making decisions based on where you want to go, not where you currently are. Too many people wait for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, the perfect level of confidence before they take action. But perfection never comes. If you wait until you feel completely ready, you will wait forever. Faith requires movement. It requires stepping out, even when you don't have all the details. Fear will always try to remind you of your past failures. It will bring up every time things didn't go the way you wanted. It will make you think that because something didn't work out before, it won't work out now. But faith looks forward. It focuses on the possibilities instead of the limitations. It understands that just because something didn't happen in the past doesn't mean it won't happen now. Growth happens when you stop looking at where you've been and start focusing on where you're going. The people who achieve the most in life are not the ones who never felt fear. They are the ones who felt it and moved forward anyway. They understood that fear is just a sign that they are stepping into something bigger. They didn't let self-doubt stop them from trying. They didn't let uncertainty keep them from believing in themselves. They acted as if success was already theirs, as if the opportunity was already secured, as if the victory was already won. That is the power of walking in faith. Fear will always try to make you second guess yourself. It will tell you that you aren't ready, that you don't have what it takes, that you should wait until things are easier. But the truth is, faith makes the impossible possible. It turns obstacles into stepping stones. It makes a way where there seems to be none. The moment you start walking in faith instead of fear, you shift everything. You stop waiting for permission. You stop needing every detail to be perfect, and you start moving like someone who knows they are destined for more. Fear keeps people stuck, but faith moves them forward.